Okay, now let's go back to Telefonica and let's talk about why you're driving this within and by HR. That's really interesting. But why did you decide to go this way?
As I just said, we as Telefonica are pretty big and really successful at the moment. But we need to develop those new businesses to stay relevant for the future. There's no other option. And we decided to do that as HR because innovation is also part of a company culture. And we aim to influence that company culture as HR. And we want to shape our organization to be future-proof. And I can say that we see HR as the driver for corporate development that enables employees to transform and develop new ideas for our future. So we want to be the connector, you can say, within our company.
So would you say that capability comes before process, like care about people and their capabilities prior to installing rigid innovation management processes?
I think both is important because people can't work without processes. But if you only have processes and no one is really involved, that won't work as well. So I think both is important, but you really need to focus on people because no process will ever work if you don't care about people.
Yeah. And actually, what I understood from you is that early in the process of actually setting up innovation management, you and your colleagues had the foresight and realized that innovation starts much, much earlier than just collecting ideas, working out ideas, and then developing them to a great potential innovation, then bringing new products to market. So it starts much, much earlier. On a very high level, how do you design the innovation management process? So where does it start? How far do you go? And what are some of the components of it?
Yeah, you just said it, not to do it on a high level, not to go into too much detail. So as you just said, we want to focus, of course, in the beginning, in the first part on scouting some trends, because there are so many trends around us. All those innovation managers within Telefonica are already looking at. And if we synchronize those trends and managers can talk to each other, that's a first really important step we want to take. Because as we just said, innovation is not done by one business unit. Innovation is done by everyone. So everyone needs to be involved, especially in those first steps as well. So it doesn't work if no one will understand why some of those trends are chosen to be the important ones. So we want to look at those trends from different angles, you can say, and then we can decide together where we want to dig deeper into. So as you can say, the environment is for everyone the same. So if we have the different capabilities to discuss all those stuff and prioritize together, we can really find those things that fit to our strategy.
Yeah, so the ambition, if I understood this correctly, is to raise all the boats at the same time, right? Because you provide transparency into trends, for example, customer demands, right? So where are customer demands heading? What is with emerging technologies? What is with existing technologies or trending technologies? How would they fit? What customer needs could be addressed by applying a certain technology? Can a technology be already applied today or not? What's technology readiness level? So there's many questions with that, and I assume that if you have distributed innovation activities, obviously at some point everybody cares about those questions anyway, right? So having a shared understanding, a common understanding of that probably helps, saving time, but also making sure they actually, run into similar directions. So that's, I guess, a high leverage activity, which I guess is pretty compelling for the entire organization. And can you give us maybe one example of a trend you have on the radar and how you work with trends like in general?
Definitely. I can give you actually two. So to show the difference of various trends we have on our radar. So the first one is, yes, HR-like. It's very obvious because it's happening for quite some time. It's flexible workplace. So we started with our 5 bold moves in 2020 and it's ongoing. But that trend evolves. So with that trend, more and more trends arise, I can say. So one challenge we currently look at is the sense of belonging. If lots of your employees work from home normally, so how do you shape your company spirit and stuff like that? That's one thing, belonging to that trend, that's currently an issue at, I think, lots of companies. And to give you another trend that's not that obvious and far away, we want to look at some tech trends as well, where we don't know yet if they could be important in the future or not. For example, if you have a trend like brain-computer interfaces, currently that's not a topic we need to dig deeper into, but maybe for the future. So we need to have those on our radar as well, where we think, okay, maybe in the future that's something we need to look more specifically into. And the other question you just asked, I think, was how we work with those trends. And I'll give you a small example from our team meetings, because we have a format that's called Trend Snack. And snack is the shortage of that format, I would say. We use 10 minutes in each team meeting we have to discuss some future trends in 3 different parts. So the first part is the definition. So everyone in our team has the same understanding what a trend is. The next part is a use case or an example. So you understand more about that trend and see, how is it applied in the real world, I can say. And the third part is what impact could that trend have on us as Telefonica or on our HR organization. So that's something, really quick, I'd say, which you can implement in your daily or weekly work. And it helps us to discuss, get new perspectives, get inspiration for maybe even current projects we're working on.
Yeah, I think that's a nice format, a snackable format, right? To kind of ingest this into different teams or different team meetings. That's I guess a great idea. And I think particularly that's maybe not only for you, but for many organizations we work with is that then answering the questions going forward, like, okay, why change and why now? So why should we care, right? Why is this important? What's probably the impact on the business? These are some tough questions, right? Because you, of course, transformation change is always something that requires, an effort, and you need to be bold and brave to kind of go through that. And also make sure you're pulling through. So, why change? Why now? I guess is kind of answered by, or at least tapped into the answers by, what's the impact on you guys? So that's, I guess, a very important aspect of this, right? Because otherwise it's, informational, that's great, but why should we care about this? And if you had some good arguments, then they listen, right? Then they say, well, that's actually interesting. I didn't, think about that. But yes, it's impacting our whatever product portfolio or the service portfolio or, something that we're already working on. Which might become more important or now obsolete because things change. So that's, I guess, important signals you can give or impulses you can give to different teams. Yeah.
Definitely. Just one example. Once we discussed more deeply about diversity topics, and then one colleague said, we have a diversity topic here. Maybe we can include some parts of our discussion so we get even better in our current projects. So it can be something, really tangible for the moment as well.
Yeah. And from your HR perspective, what are some of the skills that future employees need when developing future products? Like, sure, innovation, okay, well, that's a broad term, but what are some skills and capabilities that you think are required to have going forward?
I think the first and most important thing is curiosity. So employees need to be curious and try to experiment and don't be fearful, I'd say. And then another thing is focus on the relevant task, because there's so much happening everywhere in every company for every position. So have the big picture in mind, I'd say, and then focus, of course, on customer needs, what really adds value, and then prioritize and start doing. So that focus part. And as we just said in the beginning, the collaboration part, I think that's crucial for everyone. You need to collaborate not only within your company, but also external. You need to be communicative, talk to others, and while developing, especially talk to customers as early as possible, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. Because otherwise, tapping into, the solution seeks problem trap is very costly. Yeah, so I totally agree.
True.
Yeah.